Okay, we are live. Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Jason Donaldson Healer and Let's Evolve Together. My name is Deepa, and you are here for the Galactic Shamans Tarot and Energy readings today. So, welcome. And we're just going to wait and see, allow people to come in live and also probably chit chat a little bit about current energies in the collective that are coming up, current energies that are coming up in our own observations in our own lives. And anything else that might be floating around the stratosphere, I guess.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you, Deepa, for doing the intro. And we were feeling the theme coming through. Actually, what happened is I was writing up a description of this a couple weeks ago, and I just kind of downloaded or channeled all this list of all these things of what the new Earth is. And so we're just kind of going down the list of like the themes. And last time it was co-creating. Actually, how did I write it exactly? Co-creation as equals. And then today we're going to do heart-centered thinking. So whatever that means, we're going to explore that a bit. And then also we have the live mini tarot readings, energy signature readings. If you want one of those, you can just go on Venmo. They're $28. Deepa will put the Venmo scanner thingy up there.
Yeah, thank you for the reminder.
And there's been a lot happening, I'm sure, in everyone's lives. Here on the Big Island, we've had a number of earthquakes. I haven't felt any of them because I've been busy driving or doing something else. But Deepa's experienced a couple. And then also, a couple of people died. I found out Jerry Springer died today. And, he's like such a huge part of pop culture and how, I remember growing up watching that from time to time. And it's really interesting. He was a mayor at some point and worked in a law firm. And then he went this totally different route and was like doing this crazy show that everybody would watch or, pretend they didn't watch, but watch once in a while. Yeah. And I kind of bring him up because there was this level of heart to that guy. Like sometimes he was really kind of obnoxious and a dick, but like there was other times where you kind of see he genuinely cared. And it wasn't just, for a show. And also, Harry Belafonte, he died on the 25th. And that man's voice was amazing. Like I never really knew about his music. I knew about him from like the movies and stuff. And I always loved saying that name. Belafonte is awesome. But he sang that Banana Boat song, the one that was in, remember Beetlejuice? The Come Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
I loved that movie and that song.
Yeah, I can't sing like him.
That was pretty good because that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Aloha, everyone. Welcome in. Yes.
Hey,
so if you want a reading, just click on the Venmo link there above your name or below your name. And when it comes through, which is pretty quick, we can give you a reading. Does Venmo work for you? I guess that's the question, because I have another option. If not, I have a Cash App. We'd love to give you a reading, Casey. I'd love to do a collective reading today too, Jason. That would be super fun because there's definitely, at this point, we are in the eclipse window. There's no way to squirm out of it. We're all getting the squeeze, the feeling of the squeeze. Yeah, and it's strong. Like Scorpio is no joke. And then Scorpio lunar eclipse is like the deep dive into our stuff. That's how it feels.
Yeah, the emotions and the stuff emerging from deep within, and yeah, I'm already starting to feel it. Of course, I've been going through my own emotional integration for a while now.
Okay, I'm just gonna add the Cash App one too. There we go. Let me know if those don't work. Okay, I just noticed my mic was off, so I don't know if I was trying to talk or not. Okay, so on Venmo, can you click on the Venmo link that I put in the chat box, Casey? But let me see what it looks like. So you'll see the Let's Evolve Together emblem, which you'll see in the video here at the top. Two people sitting in meditation back to back. You'll see that for my profile picture in Venmo. And then it's under Deepa Lamb, which is my name. So you can't click on the Venmo link? That's weird.
Can you copy and paste it? That might work.
Yeah, that's what I did last time, though. Let me do it one more time. But yeah, look for Deepa Lamb, and then the profile picture is the Let's Evolve Together. What would it be called? Brand picture.
Do you have a QR code? You can throw that up there too.
How would I get that up there?
That's a good question.
Brian and I tried it actually once before, but it didn't work quite right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Here's the Venmo link again. I don't know if that helps. If the other one doesn't work, I don't know.
See, Jacqueline's on. Hi, Jacqueline. Aloha.
Aloha, Jacqueline. Welcome. Yeah, this morning.
Comments.
Huh?
I can only see if someone comments on my side. So I can't see actually how many people are watching or anything.
Oh, okay. We have Jacqueline and Casey so far.
Cool.
And are you able to comment, Jason, or no?
Yeah, I can comment.
Okay. This morning I felt like the Lemurians were around. That was really interesting. So I took out the Lemurian deck that I have, and also the deck that was really strong this morning was the light language deck that I have by my teacher that I studied light language with. Her name's Jamie Price. And she, on each card, will put a different star race, and then a word or a phrase that goes with the energy that star race is bringing through. So today, like for instance, we had uniqueness, which is Pleiades expanding, and then the light language is actually written there on the card, and that activates you just as much as like hearing it or seeing light language through someone's hands, hand mudras and signing of their hands, for instance. But uniqueness came through with expression. Nice. That was this morning when I was doing the light language, what's it called? Transmission for light language tarot on Instagram that I do. So that was what was coming through. So I just felt a lot of galactic energy this morning when I was tapping in, which is, I feel close to anyway, but it was definitely like around, and especially Lemurian. Lemuria has been coming up today quite a bit.
Yeah. The Palladians are like, that was my first, experience with Galactics. That's a lot of the information I was coming across was like, I think the Bringers of the Dawn book. I forget, Barbara something, Markazadak or something like that. She wrote this book, The Bringers of the Dawn, and it talked about the Palladians. And so that was kind of my first introduction to a lot of it. Because, it's interesting how you can be a galactic being, you can be a starseed or indigo, but it doesn't really translate. Like I had no interest at all in aliens or any of that stuff. It was all just, too far fetched. But when I started to realize that like oh, they're like ghosts or semi-etheric, they're multidimensional versus like a physical being that's going to land on this planet and walk up to us. Although that could
Mm,
happen too, and that may happen actually really in the near future at some point. But that's what, it took a paradigm shift for me. I think it was around 2005 where it started clicking like, oh, wait a minute, alien is just not from this planet. And that doesn't mean, they're even incarnated in the same way. And aliens can incarnate into a human form. And like, so you have all these other lifetimes on other planets, and then you incarnate as a human and you're like, this is really weird. Like, this isn't how it's supposed to be. Like, I remember it's different. It can be different. And then you try to talk to people about it and they're like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. Like, what do you mean it could be different? How could that possibly be different? But you just feel it and you just know it deep inside, and it can't even be explained sometime. But I think now we're bringing that out, those of us that remember. And honestly, I think most of the humans here, we all have star origins. We all come and have lived somewhere else.
yeah, definitely. Oops, sorry about the noise.
Okay.
Okay, so Casey is ready for her reading.
Awesome.
Yay, Casey. So I know there's a delay. So I guess it's about a 90-second delay. So Casey, if you want to type your question in the comment box, that would be great. And we'll give you some time because there's this delay. And we can keep talking about star ancestry and extraterrestrials, which I love.
Yeah. Well, and with the theme too, I think that's a lot of it is, heart-centered thinking
Yeah.
is a deep inner feeling, and like kind of you can kind of feel and see and perceive a level of intelligence in that. I've always tried to fall into the heart, guide people into their hearts, falling into that place. And that's where the infinite intelligence is. And we're able to like navigate reality and in the now moment with a higher level of thinking, like more of the higher mind than the ego mind kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah, I want to definitely talk about that more today. Yeah, and right here we have Casey. So her question is basically around purpose work, guidance for your purpose, higher purpose, mission, that kind of thing, Casey. And something too. What's interesting about purpose is the other P word is usually close in proximity, and that's passion. So one of the questions I tend to ask people about when they say they want information on their purpose, okay, is what's your passion already? Like, what are you already really almost like entranced with? Like, what catches your attention? What catches your energy? Like, what do you want to dive into? Like, what do you want to soak yourself in? That kind of thing. Do you know yet, I guess, is the question. So do you want me to start this one, Jason?
Either way, I can just tune in and see what comes through, or if you're feeling it, you can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Casey. So,
Awesome.
sweet. Okay. You're in the right place. So, earthwork, star seeds, quantum healing. And that, that's so appropriate, the quantum aspect of things. Like, so you already have the awareness of that, what the quantum healing is. And like you and all beings, it starts within you first, inside. And so even though externally it may seem like you're not doing much, or if you're doing things, you may feel like you need to be doing more, you want to do more, and you want to be guided to be doing more. And yet you are doing what you came to do. You are doing the work just by being here and breathing, one. And then two, anytime the opportunity comes up to be present with a situation, to be present with a person, to connect with your breath, to perceive and witness what's happening, that being, that situation, from your infinite self, from your star-seated self, from that being that understands and knows at a deeper level that we're merely playing in the illusion here, that there's a level of forgetting that we agreed upon to come to this planet and interact with. And so us too, we as well, like star seeds, indigos, and all these names we have for a being that has been around quite a long time and may remember a little more and may have activated more of their DNA, but this is possible in every being. So we're able to kind of wake up a little faster and look around and be like, whoa, wait a minute. Like I want to help, and I want to like uplift people, and I want to heal the planet, and I want to do all these things. And it's honestly that it is already healed. The people are already whole and complete. The planet is going to be okay. In fact, she's inviting us to embrace more of her beauty and her radiance and her strength, because she will shake us all off if she needed to. Like there's kind of this idea that we're going to destroy the planet. And there's been times when humans almost did, where there was like going to be a nuclear launch, and time again, things were interfered with. Like, I think that's the only time our guides, our guardians and these benevolent races of galactic brothers and sisters will like intervene, is when there's going to be another like huge cataclysm, because it impacts everything around it. And so there's been times when they would step in and stop like a nuclear, explosions and devastation. But other than that, it's like letting us grow and evolve and come back to the remembering at the pace that's most appropriate for us. And so what I'm feeling with you, that's a long explanation. I'm not sure why I got into all that. But what I'm feeling with you is I see you as like this energy center, like emanating out, and you have your connection. You have like that energy coming in through your crown. And I think you've done work around that already to bring in more energy, bring in like energy to the planet, like grid work and other things you've been doing. And that's happening always. Like that's always turned on, no matter where you go, you're doing that. And then it's being patient with how people respond to that, and holding space for them and seeing them as already whole and complete. And there's these things that they're experiencing because they want to. And it's like the sun. So I see it, you're like emanating this energy of the sun, and people are invited to be drawn to you, or they're kind of repelled sometimes. And maybe that's brought confusion to you in the past. Like, why, if I'm, doing all this work and I'm really in this good vibration, why are people like not resonating with what I'm doing? Or why am I not having people drawn to me in the way I want? And I think that a lot of that is the timing. And it's also those thoughts that interrupt it, oddly enough. Like all those thoughts that are offered when we're in that place of we're already doing it, and then these thoughts come in and we believe it, and then it starts to kind of manifest in a sense. So the more we can just be present, connect with the breath, and connect with that energy. Like I was shown recently, I'm doing an initiatory process with the SecM energy, where I was like the Ankh itself. Like I was actually the Ankh radiating out this light and this energy, like the eternal divine human being. And that's what many of us came to do. And what we'll all eventually do is become this like light body, this higher vibratory eminence of what it means to be a human being. And so that's what I feel you have online already for you. And it's just being that in the world, and then being aware of the thoughts that tell you otherwise or try to interrupt and suppress that flow. What card am I getting? Okay. I never really intend to use this deck, but this is the one that is being called for, the Rider-Waite deck. This is a super old school classic deck, which I love. I'll see what card comes through as far as a confirmation of what I shared, and to get a little more detail on what specifically that could look like for you. So, Three of Cups, the Empress, and the Ace of Swords. Yeah, so again, you are doing it. You are celebrating who you are. This is coming out. It's being shown to the world. It's really a beautiful energy. It's something that people are drawn to, and they just really enjoy being around you. And this is perfect. This is all you need. It's going to draw more. And so we have the Empress as well, the embodiment of that more and more in the material sense, where you're going to see more of this energy that you're holding and being in the world, creating more of the material things and ability to interact with more people, to be this not so much a matriarch, but more of like an empowered feminine in a balanced way, without all the masculine energy that was needed in the past to get to that place. So I see this as your embodiment of the Three of Cups energy of all the work you've been doing. And then we have the Ace of Swords reversed. And so again, what this indicates to me is the mind, what the ego mind, the intellect can do to come in and try to thwart what we're working on. And so it's just being aware, being the witness of whatever thoughts are offered to you in the moment, and realizing that is not reality. In fact, I tell everyone, you're closer to your breath than you are to anything in the mind. And so the more we connect with our breath, the more you connect with that beautiful energy that you are, your star-seeded nature, you're going to be able to witness the thoughts that come and start to rescript it, reprogram it, or just let it go. And so also the Ace of Swords could also be what I'm getting at, may not be a traditional interpretation, is like planting the sword in the ground and in that kingdom emerging like an empire, a new modality or something you're going to present to the world that's going to help a lot of people. And it'll be working with navigating the mind, navigating the thoughts, navigating how to work with that and be grounded with this powerful energy you're bringing in. Like a lot of us can shoot up to our crown chakra and be, super love and light and joy, happy. But can we like root it, get it like into a rational sense as well, like where it's balanced and integrated and not like super woo woo. People like the woo woo word. I don't even know what that means, because anymore this stuff is real. It's going to become more and more apparent as time moves on in this new earth. So that's what I'm getting for you. Hopefully that was helpful. Again, just take in what resonates and throw away the rest if it's not what you're feeling or what you resonate with.
Thanks, you,
Casey.
Jason. That was wonderful. Yeah, I see some parallels here in the cards I pulled. So this is really cool, Casey, because what I first felt, and Jason actually named it, is you as a grid worker. And if you haven't done work like this before, which maybe you actually have without realizing it, it's like you could do it in a few different ways. Some people do it by actually going to a place, going to, another country or another vortex on the earth, like a power spot. Doesn't have to be, but it can be, where just you being there sort of grounds the energy in a specific way and a purposeful way. And it's tricky because it almost feels like that's all you need to do is just be there with your presence and your energy in order to make that happen, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not always aware of, which may show up in the dream state. So you may like to travel a lot. That'd be great to hear if you do. Let us know. You may be drawn to certain spots on the earth and not know why. And it could be because just having your energy there in that vortex, there's something about it. And wouldn't you know, in the Lemurian deck, we got for you the Portal Keeper.
Nice.
Yeah. And so look at this circle here. Okay. Yes, called to travel a lot. Yeah. You've got this same repeating pattern. I'll try to make it show up in the camera better. That light is a little weird. This is also a circle here. Another one here. And another one here. Yeah. So let me just tune into this for a second to get like a direct message, because obviously music comes up. So there's something about your energy that when I don't completely understand this myself, so I'm going to try to verbalize it in the best way that I can. When a new energy appears on the earth, right? Let's say a light code is activated it's time for the earth to receive a certain frequency or light code. Basically, you're called to that spot. And when you're called to that spot on the planet, you act as a portal keeper. And so what I mean by that is your energy being there, whether you know it or not, is like allowing certain energies to come through or not. So you're almost like this bodyguard to the Stargate. That's kind of what it looks like and feels like, especially with this gorgeous Egyptian cat. So it's almost like what comes and goes through that portal is your say. I anchor cosmic frequencies from different star systems. Thank you for wording that. Yes, that's what you do. Exactly. So I'm picking up on that. So what's challenging about this is, and I've said it before, but what's challenging about it is you may get there and not really know what you're supposed to do there. And like I said, it's just because you just need to bring your energy there. And so part of this is, Casey, you're allowed to put your feet up a little bit. And I know that's probably feels agitating on some level. Like I just want to do something, which of course you can, right? But when you travel, just having your energy there is the really important part. The rest of it is kind of like up to you, like, you know, going to see specific sites. And like I said, again, you may not know why you're there doing certain things. So meanwhile, you could be just a human having a really great time while you travel. And of course, that's how it looks externally anyway to other people. Meanwhile, there's this whole other dimension going on and purpose for you being there. So that's, and then of course, I don't know if you saw, but this card was the power of purpose on the bottom. You got a bunch of number 9s, which to me is like importance of the self and being sovereign and standing in your own power and recognizing your power. This one was a double 4/4 divine matrix. This was 50, the portal keeper. And then this one was an 11. So you got a couple master numbers. This one is in perfect harmony. So I don't know also if you play music, but that might add like another dimension or another layer to the way that you can anchor cosmic frequencies from different star systems, is by bringing it either through your voice and even just talking to people while you're there in that place, or through music. So that's really cool. So in other words, they're kind of asking you to, and if you are that master, they're saying you are, and that's what it feels like. They're saying that they want you to have a little more fun and to not take on so much, as far as like, it's like you've done so much already. And so now you're just this anchor, and that's enough. Do you know what I mean? Not that you can't do other things, but I'm definitely getting some stuff with voice. So there's a few other things that came through that are really cool. So Jason, you mentioned the sun, and one of the cards she got from Lisa Royal Holt's deck is number 34, solar consciousness, the solar system. And so this is the sun. This card represents the sun. And what it talks about specifically is our higher selves. So one of the ways that you can feel more purposeful in your presence here on earth, no matter where you are or where you go, is by implementing the higher self into your daily life. So bringing heaven to earth. So what does it look like when I stand in the energy of my highest potential, my highest, most loving frequency? So that ties into the other cards that you got, which are, it's kind of a bigger purpose. And this would be only if you feel that it resonates with you. I think you're supposed to start some kind of earth community. So almost like starting a communal living place on a piece of land where you are able to create. So at this point, with all you've learned and all you've done through past lives, you are a creator. And so they're kind of like, go buy a piece of land or get a piece of land somehow, and then implement a community that can work together through the structures that you see in harmony. How can these people work together and live together with the land in harmony? There's more here with the earth. And it's like, how do we live on the earth? How do we live together on the earth? What does that look like? And they're really like, the world is your oyster. Like you can make this look however you want. You can be as creative as you want. And it's a way for you to channel your creativity and all those visions that you're getting and all those energies that you're sensing. You can actually channel that through your creative vessel, right? Because Jason got the Empress. And I think you also got a 3 with the Empress is a 3, but there was something else you got that was connected to that.
Oh, there's the 3 of Cups and the Ace of Swords.
Oh, 3 of Cups. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the Ace of Swords, like basically to me, that's, using your ingenuity, using your creative mind. And that's Pluto and Aquarius. Like we're coming into this place where our imaginations are allowed to run wild and free and create, and then bring that through into the world by harvesting it in community. Like what is the potential of all my creative ideas, and how can I anchor those to this earth plane? So I recently found out that I have 7 others to help wake up. Do you mean people? Like you've been assigned 7 others? So this is interesting as far as like a community. Do you have you ever thought of starting a community, like a commune type thing where you implement your ideas and how to live a different way? Because we're definitely needing that. A lot of people doing that to create new like subsystems of like neighborhoods, how to live in a new way kind of thing. Yes, people masters. Oh, okay, gotcha. It reminds me of the sleeping giants, Casey. Do you know about the giants? You're
There are probably a lot of them are kids too. Like a lot of these
yeah.
like 10-year-olds are like these little masters. And
Oh,
I don't
I
know if
know.
that's part of the 7 you're working with, but I love that you see their true essence and that you're able to be patient with them and guide them in a way that is healing and helpful. And same for you, like not feeling like you need to do anything, like you'll just do it. Like there's not going to be pressure with this.
And a couple times you got 39 from the Lemurian deck, and it says our ancient future. And you've got open contact, and this one says Pallades future. So that's why this thing kept coming up about starting a community, like a starseed community, because the way that we lived in ancient times and the way that we live in future times is the way that we're starting to live now on Earth. We're starting to get those ideas now, like living close to the land, living in more contact with each other, and more expanded family style. So a lot in like hive mind, you got so much with working together in community that keeps coming up. And then you've got 99 mirror reflection from the Zeta Reticuli. Sorry, these don't show up great, but I feel like you work well with others because in relationship, they show you more of yourself. Ooh, this Jason? Did you know that, Jason? Did you know this? Is this the Jason you're talking about, Casey? That's cool. I love how we're getting all this Lemurian stuff today. So the other reason is because you got home from the Lemurian deck in reverse. Okay, Casey, thank you. She said yes, soul memory. So I feel like you're supposed to bring home to earth. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you
going to
just,
be a huge day for everybody. It's
yeah,
already starting. Yeah, I'm sensing like emotional explosions, but also in the good kind. It depends on where we're at. But I don't, I sense the Lemurian lifetime with you, Casey. I haven't fully connected to that lifetime myself yet. I've worked through the Mayan one and Aztec, and currently more of the Egyptian, and I'm in Hawaii, but I haven't connected fully with Lemuria yet, and that's something I'm growing into. So I love that you're sharing that, and I'm definitely open to those awarenesses, those visions, and lifetimes coming through.
and then so this is what it all comes down to, Casey, universal connection. So one of the ways that you can share all this universal connection that you so naturally have is through this sort of new types of communities and new ways of living, which are really old ways of living. So I don't know, does that help between what Jason and I said? Are you feeling more clarity? Wow.
Hmm.
Cool, Tanya. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. I'm so excited about your reading coming up. You're very patient, by the way. Casey says she works with star seeds all the time.
Nice.
It's like you're doing the work, you know? And like I said, I think part of it can be agitating because it's your presence that is most of the work. So you're not having to do like a lot with your hands, really. But if you wanted to get earthed, so to speak, there's the starting a starseed community for one. Maybe that's even online, Pluto and Aquarius, you know, that's social media. Or sitting down and doing visualizations, asking your higher self or your spirit guides, whichever you feel more connected to, and saying, where is my energy needed at this time? Like I said, you don't actually have to physically travel there. You can go into meditation and travel astrally, and you can say, where am I needed? Your higher self will let you know. You plant a crystal there or do your work there, and then you come back. So you can also work in that way. And one of the things I like to do when I do grid work is ask for proof of what the work that I did. And it just sets up a nice trust loop. And usually I'll see something come through in the news or through YouTube that confirms what I was doing the work with. So that's really fun too. Cool. Okay. Okay, Casey, any last questions or you feel complete? And you did get, by the way, a Lemurian card, Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness you got twice, and living with grace. So, you know, this is that Lemurian seed crystal. And it's like you are this unique Lemurian crystal, and you can shine and create through that vibration and frequency in any way that you want in this lifetime. So just being asked to get creative, especially with that Empress energy Jason pulled, and Three of Cups, working in community is Three of Cups.
It's also celebration and jovial, like really happy, joyous, bubbling energy, you know, that emanates out. Similar to Lemurian crystal card is just this, like, I really like this person. I don't know why. And that's enough sometimes. Even, you know, I used to do chauffeured transportation in Phoenix, and, you know, I was all into the reptilian stuff and all that. And I think I let my mind go a little too far, and I'd be like, oh, I know this person's a reptilian. And then I would just like get calm, and then I would start talking to them. And even if they were kind of dark, I would talk about something they loved, even if it was like money or something. And they'd start to drop into their heart, and like a lot of that exterior would fall away, and that energy that was around them would start to dissipate. Or maybe it was just me, but like, I love that heart connection with people. And it doesn't matter who they are or what they've done or where they come from. Like, when they start to connect to their heart, there's this beautiful human being in there. And nobody is a monster. Nobody is, you know, evil. There's people that have done things. Yeah. But like deep inside, there's this pure, beautiful being. And, that's what I feel you emanate out, is that for people to connect to.
Yeah, thank you, Casey, for all the work you're doing. And this is really cool. She says, I help the mountains and volcanoes to shift to new earth. I love that. And I love, Jason, what you said last week, how our mountains are pyramids too. I was like, whoa, I never thought of that. You know, that was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we had a big earthquake yesterday on this side of the island, which is more rare. So it was like one of those ones you felt coming. So I was already on guard because the vibration was strong. It was preceding it, and then it hit, and it was a strong one. Hi.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, Brian. He might be in and out. He's actually teaching music right now next door. He's popping in and saying hi, I think. Cool. I love that the Galactic decks wanted to be here today. And then Casey, your wonderful question, and Tanya being here. So I feel like I just love those confirmations, you know? So thank you. Speaking of which, we can definitely do a collective reading. We don't have any other readings requested at this time, so we can do a collective reading as far as what's coming through.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I need to clear the table. Do you want to tune in first?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull some cards first. Usually I just tune in, but this feels different. Cool. So I could pull the orange gold dragon from Arcturus. Opens you to knowledge for the new golden age, which I have a connection to the Arcturians. And there was this really cool book called the Arcturus Probe. I forget the author, but they were talking about how there's many planets, Arcturus, but there was this one where they were like mushroom spores essentially, and their highest joy and attainment that they all could reach was like to be able to sense and feel things. And they'd come and gather in these giant like stadium type places. They'd all come gather, they use the stadium so we'd understand it as humans, but they'd all come and gather and they'd try to have the highest sensory experience possible, like to get the everything just vibrating, and that's what I'm feeling is coming online on the planet too, is and a lot of star seeds and indigos are like this, where it can feel like being an exposed nerve on the planet. And any little thing, like it's like people say you're too sensitive or this and that. So I'm feeling just what a gift that is and how powerful it is. And that's what helps us be able to channel. That's what helps us navigate reality. And in the new earth, I think that's going to be crucial, is to have this sensitivity that in the past, many of us might have like tried to drink away or use drugs to suppress, or pharmaceuticals. Like that's going to start being of great value, in fact, because I know in my own life, I've used it in the groups I do, the breathwork ceremonies, the energy work. It's the ability to feel and sense and dance with reality. And so that's what that card brings up for me, is that Arcturian energy coming through, and that knowledge that it brings, this sensitivity to our environment, to feel nature, to feel other people, and then come into the balance with that. Because the other card I got was the air dragon. It helps you rise above earthly matters. So this is very appropriate for that, right? Is we can feel and notice all these things coming, but we can rise above the identification with what we're feeling. Like when I do energy work, a lot of times I'll feel pain in my body and I'm like, oh, okay, go to that area. That's where, a little extra attention needs to be, or I see a different color or something. And that's not me. I'm sensing that. And so that to rise above, to feel, to notice, to be the witness of everything from that higher perspective, and then still feeling everything. And then it becomes fun because it's not an overwhelm. It's not me. And same with our own thoughts and emotions. Like that's not me. It's a part coming to sit with me or be with me. And this is the power of the breath, the power of presence, to just breathe and be with whatever comes up, whether it's in the mind, whether it's around us, whether it's something we're sensing and feeling, negative energy coming at us. A lot of it's just the mind creating the intensity of it, that we can come into the wholeness with the breath, with the central sun, the internal energy within us, and shine that out. Like nothing can really penetrate the sun. And that's what, like Casey's energy is a lot of what we're all embodying. It's very similar. Like you can't diminish that. It's the sun, and it can try with like thoughts and ideas trying to trick us into diminishing it ourselves, but really you can't, and I think that's what Eleanor Roosevelt was talking about. Like nobody can, I forget the exact quote, nobody can belittle you or put you down, or You can't give away your power unless you let them, unless you take on these beliefs and these ideas about who or what you are. And so that's what I'm getting for the collective is this is going to be a sensitive time. It's sensitive time for a lot of people, like emotions coming up, feeling and sensing a lot of things. It's going to feel kind of dark and scary, and I don't know what's going on. And that's perfect, because a lot of the problem is we think we know what's going on, and then we don't really see what truly is. And so come into presence, be with the breath, rise above it all, call on your dragons. They got your back. You don't have nobody can get your back like a dragon. So ask your guides for assistance. But that's what I'm getting as far as what's going to be happening in the next week or so with this upcoming lunar eclipse in Scorpio.
Yeah. I think Jason and I were talking before the show started, and we were feeling the intensity already emotionally and getting the waves already. And I was telling him how I always get the energies of the astrology about a week or two earlier, and that this week for me was that week. What's interesting is we've got number 7, epoch, a pause in your journey for the collective energy right now. This is Mercury retrograde. And these pauses are purposeful because they allow us the time we need to stop and reflect and make sure, we feel good about where we're at and where we're going. So it may feel like there's a lot going on, but time right now has sort of slowed down and expanded. So although there's a lot going on, we have plenty of time to process it. And so that's very grounding and assisting as we move through our daily life, because we're like, okay, yes, there's a lot to do. It doesn't all need to happen at once. And I'm not even sure about a few of these things. I'm going to think about it for 24 hours and it still works. It's still there. So it's nice because it's a cushion. It's a cushion in the intensity, and it's a gift. And also right now with Mercury retrograde being very intense, very dialed up, it'll allow us that little pause before what could be a little bit of an upheaval when the lunar eclipse comes next Friday. I think it's Friday. So next Thursday, our show will be only one day, or on the day, if it's happening, depending on where we are in the world, right? I don't know the times of it. But we'll be talking during basically the lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So I can't wait to see, how that all plays out. So I just wanted to pull more cards. I shuffled the Lemurian deck again. And I hope this doesn't get loud with the shuffling. So let's see for the collective what's coming through. Ooh. Third eye chakra, pineal perspective. This was coming up a lot I did a Taurus birthday reading on YouTube. Third eye was being activated. So maybe with this, solar or lunar eclipse, or eclipses in general, both of them. Oh, and of course, but we're getting that third eye activation, and also the throat. So much with the throat right now. We've got number 56, which is obviously an 11, vulnerability. And it was in reverse. So maybe what's happening is we're getting a window through the third eye perspective. We're getting a visual. We're getting new sensory awareness as to what is going on, with this in reverse, vulnerability in reverse. We're getting a new perspective and a new visual on our stuff, on, how we feel when we feel vulnerable. What is that like for us? Do we resist it? Do we open to it? So right now we might be feeling a lot of vulnerability, especially at a highly emotional time. Like Jason was saying, like sensitive in that way, like our nerves are exposed. And how do we navigate ourselves through our daily lives when we feel really triggered, or when we feel on edge, or just sensitive? What do we do? And then that response, which we were also talking about before the show, because I had a reaction to something yesterday, shows you where you're at with your growth, shows you how far you've come, shows you how much more work you need to do, or if you want to do. And it just gives you, it's like a barometer. I forget what I called it. Maybe a growth barometer. I don't know. But anyway, it feels like we're being shown where we're at. We're being given that mirror and then shown, okay, so this is where you're at. Good job. How far you've come. But there's a little more here that you could do, kind of like that.
Yeah, we're not going to have a choice. I think it's just going to happen. Like everybody, like you're feeling this now. You've been keeping it away for a long time, but here it is. And, a man I really respect, my mentor, he says that's for you. That's like it's coming. This is happening for us. This is an aspect of us, our power, our very power, in a sense, this emotion coming, and to just be with it and just breathe with it and breathe into presence with that. And that's really all that needs to be done. It's not a thinking thing. It's not a consoling thing. Even is what I've learned is like, I had such a knee-jerk reaction whenever I'd start feeling upset. I'd be like, it's okay. It's okay. It's like, maybe it's not okay for that part of me. Maybe that part of me is, not enjoying itself right now. And for me to say that just pushes it away and denies its reality. And so when I breathe with it and just breathe and feel it, it dissipates, it integrates, it dissolves. It's really amazing. It's so simple. It's so counterintuitive to what we've been taught, So I just wanted to share that, throw that in there.
I was going to say, thank you, Jason. And I'm going to tell you why I'm thanking you in a second. And I want to say aloha to Sarah because she's saying hello to everyone. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Welcome in. Welcome to the convo. We are currently doing the collective reading, which is a lot of Mercury retrograde energy and prep for the lunar eclipse that's coming in Scorpio. So look what I just got. If this isn't a Mercury retrograde reading, I don't know what is. 8 of Wands in reverse, the Devil upright, the Star upright, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The two cards that notate movement forward and action are in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune and the 8 of Wands. So we're being paused, right? We had that pause in your journey, that epoch. Sit back, relax your mind. This guy doesn't even have a head. Like no thinking aloud right now, just rest, sleep. Because we have the Star and the Devil. So
that's a good combo, actually, for this energy. Yeah.
And 2 major arcana cards. This is a big spiritual lesson. So for instance, yes, you've come so far. This is a test. Something's coming at us. We're going to be tested in some way. Maybe it's already happened. And how do you respond? So there's a dark wind coming in, so to speak. How do you navigate that wind? And being grateful for how far you've come and how you can with the Star energy, and then recognizing what is left to heal, what is left to recover of yourself or acknowledge or whatever. So, it's just very clear in the tarot what's going on. So,
yeah, you mind if I jump in with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I always loved about the Devil card, and then you got the Star there too, is like, in the Devil card, if you look at the Rider-Waite one, if you look closely at it,
yeah,
you see the chains. You can actually lift that. They can lift them off their neck. Like they're not totally imprisoned. They can free themselves. And so when you see like how I interpret that, you see the Devil card with the Star, and for me, the Star is my favorite card. That's like just this insight, this light that turns on, and you're like, oh, I get it now. Oh my God, I get it. And you come into this presence, you're like, oh, I can just do this. I can go that way, or I can just not care about that. And that's, I think, a lot of this too is like this old hell we used to be in. All of a sudden it's going to snap. Like, wait a minute, I'm going to lift this chain off and I'm going to go over here. And then, and it'll be a little scary, but like, shedding these old skins and these old, limitations, if there is such a thing, that we imposed on ourselves, and we see the light of that and move away, change direction.
On that note, this is really cool. We actually got Waking the Lion. So I think this is also about waking up a deeper level of your own strength. So if it is, in fact, a test that comes along, it's like, okay, waking up a new level of my strength. How do I respond now? And with a test, we're pushed a little bit toward our edge, and that's the point. And that's where we grow. That's why it's called a growth edge. So I'm feeling like, okay, This thing is to grow us. It's to strengthen us. It may be challenging, but it's not to knock us down. It's to lift us up higher, which is what the star, it's like, that manifestation of the dream or the wish. And then we got broken open, number 28, which is a 10, and it's the final release of this cycle with the devil. If some of you have connected to that energy in past cycles, the breaking open is, that one last thing to come in and say, it really is okay to let this go, whatever that is. It really is okay to like put it to rest, to move forward, to feel good about growing from here and not feel guilty that I'm like leaving something behind or someone behind or something like that.
Yeah, like shedding that density, shedding that material focus, shedding the addictions, shedding the things that are not even negative, just things we've used to cope or to identify as parts of us that really aren't, like shedding. Again, it feels like shedding skins. Like I'm not that person anymore. I used to do that, but now I'm doing this, and not everyone's going to like that change, but it's like, I'm not wanting to do this anymore. I'm going to do something different. And then, with the strength of the lion, the courage to follow that.
Exactly. And as you were saying that, we got truth and discernment. So just
Nice.
owning your truth, using your discernment, right? When that devil shows up, using your wise discernment and owning your truth. And that owning of the truth is a new, level of your own strength, waking up the lion. But they're both Lyra awareness cards. So this energy of the Lyrans here. And of course, we got the lion. So it's a confirmation of that cat energy. And then creativity. So for instance, once you do that final release of the addictive pattern, whether it's a thought pattern or a person or behavior, or whether it's just something that's not working anymore, whatever it is that drops away, once you finally own that, there's an excess of your own energy that is not being put toward that anymore. And they're saying, channel it into your creativity. And that's what any sane person will tell you when you just quit something, that's a bad habit. Okay, now you've quit smoking. You're going to have to fill that space with something positive until you get the full clean break. You're not going to be able to most people can't quit cold turkey. There's some sort of bridge. And most of the time they'll say, try yoga or try breathing. Since you like breathing with the smoking, try pranayama, or whatever it might be to walk you across the bridge, to get you to the other side, to start living that new life or that new divine imprint of what you're becoming. Because you have to like fake it till you make it, basically, and practice it first. So you have to channel your excess energy so it doesn't want to go back to the habits, because the habits create a deep groove in the mind. And it's really hard, just like water runs in ruts. It's really hard to get the mind out of those ruts, those grooves that we've set in over time. And they just get deeper and deeper the longer we do those things. And that's why it's hard to change who you are as you grow, especially as you grow older, because those grooves get deeper.
Yeah, and presence can change all that. Like in the moment when we become present and catch what we're about to do or notice the thought and just breathe and be with it, everything can change in an instant. And then it'll come back from time to time, and then we got to be present with it. So, there's different views on that. I've known people that just quit smoking, they just quit and they never smoked.
Yeah.
And then it took me on and off like 5 years to quit. And I would just start up again. So, but now I don't smoke at all. I don't even want it. But that was my process.
So hello, welcome in. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing. It is Kanjo, if that is your name. Listening on the train. Thank you so much. That's so cool.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here.
And
thank
Sarah,
you everyone for being here.
Yeah, I know. This is so fun. Sarah, do you want to ask a question? There's a Venmo link here, or we have Cash App. We'd love to answer your question if you want. So if you guys do want a reading, it's $28, and we have a Venmo link if it works. I don't actually know. I kind of want to click on it, but I'm also going to put the Cash App link one more time. Give me a second. Computer stuff. I'm excited. This is how funny I am with computers. I'm excited that I navigated off the page and copied something and I didn't lose you guys. Like, that's my level of how these things work. I'm just confused. So this is the Cash App one. And while we're waiting to see if somebody does want one, I was going to pull, let me see. Let's just see what the Galactics are saying as far as what light codes or what activations are coming through. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking of the Scorpio lunar eclipse. Ooh, of course we got this. Okay, I can't really see it, but it says karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewrite your story and live your truth. It's like quadruple confirmations on, rebirthing yourself and owning your truth and creating and expressing yourself through that. So it's really, yeah. And because of that, stuff's going to come out because it's getting cleared.
Can you hold that up again? That was a cool looking card.
Yes, I know. If you could see it, she's actually got 8 arms. And she's like a light being. If I go closer, it's worse, I think, right?
No, I can see it.
Okay.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, she's so beautiful.
Can't see anything in there. I don't know what's going on in all that light, but like
maybe it's too much lighting. Of course, we got Temple of Truth, throat chakra, authenticity, and self-expression. So what's going on is what is not your truth is being cleared out, and that may send off an emotional reaction within you that's intense or an emotional dramatic situation. And then your authentic, true, creative self can shine through.
Well, that's the thing with like darkness and light is like, I found God, I found the universe through darkness, through like visitations from things in the middle of the night and from like, demons and things like that, things that were actually there to wake me up and to bring me into presence and to, it's so hard to put it into words, but just that realization of how it all serves, how it all, even the things we think are not good or not pleasant are actually for us, like helping us. And when ultimately the light shined on it, we see it for what it is and we're able to move away from it. And I love that you pulled that strength card too, because it does take the strength to actually look and to feel it and to make the choice to leave and do something different, whatever that is, and then continue on with it.
Yeah, and the way I experienced it when I started doing my own shadow work was it was like a knot or a tension. So like a karmic knot in my psychic system. And in that karmic knot is my energy. In that karmic knot is my love and my consciousness. And in order to show you that, right? So your subconscious mind is like trying to show you that your energy and your love is locked in this karmic knot. And this is not your full potential. And you're, as I was experiencing, running around in circles, not quite able to define why I was so like not happy or why I was so unsettled. It felt so disharmonious. And through the dream state or through journeying or through shadow work, your subconscious can reveal, okay, here's this thing. It's got some of your energy. At least that was my experience of it, right? And then once I recognized it and felt what was locked in there, which was a lot of fear and grief from my childhood, it unraveled the knot. I just had to be with it. I just had to sit with it. I just had to allow it to be heard by me, my conscious mind. And then it unraveled. And the love that was locked in there released into my conscious field and became part of me again. And that not releasing was massive for my shift into like a whole new level of awareness. And of course, we can have several knots or several layers of depth of healing that we have to go through. But it was like it was the crux of like a lot of the confusion. So once that unraveled, there was this new level of peace inside. Now, it wasn't something, it's not like, yes, I'm happy every day or something like that. It's like a new level of understanding myself. And that knot is no longer there because I'm not confused in it. And my love is not caught in it anymore. And now I can use that love in creative ways, like working with you, Jason, doing the tarot readings on YouTube, playing my instrument, giving more, more conscious love to my family. So it was held up, almost held hostage because I was denying it, pushing it away, not acknowledging it, or not even realizing it was there. So that was a big one. So yeah, the shadow is such a beautiful teacher.
Yeah. If we're in shadow, we just turn around. What's creating the shadow? Where's the light? Where's the essence of all things? Like coming to that place. That's what the darkness showed me, is like, oh, if this is real, then the other stuff must be real. And then it was a choice. What do I move towards? The illusion of separation and hate and anger and frustration of myself and others, or the light and the love and the unity and all the uncomfortable feelings that brings up? To live in community, that's uncomfortable for me. Like, it depends on what. Do I got my own space? Do I have to share it? Like, do I have to be in cuddle puddles and stuff? Like, sometimes I might want that, but other times I'm like, I don't want that.
No, I don't think I can handle that personally.
But we grow and move towards more connection.
I'm such a cat.
The hippie community, and I was just like, oh my God, this is too much. And now I'm in it more and more. So it's interesting how you can change on your path.
So you guys, are the links not working? I have them in the chat, in the comment area. There's a Cash App one right above your name and a Venmo one. And I know Casey had a hard time. Is anyone else having trouble with the links? Because Kanjao, he said he's looking for the link. Sorry about that. I can't
click on it is probably why.
If you click on it, I wonder if it'll navigate you away, Jason. I'm kind of wanting to see what's going on, but
I can't click on it here. I mean, I'll try on YouTube.
Maybe I can post it on YouTube.
Yeah, under the description or something would probably work.
Okay, yeah. I put the Venmo one in the YouTube chat.
I can click on it. I could click on that one anyway.
Okay.
The YouTube one.
Sorry about that. Sorry, guys.
There's two different. Oh, one's Cash App. Okay.
Yeah.
Not everyone likes Venmo or PayPal, which I can understand.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I feel like with all this, right, it just feels like before we can have that happily ever after energy where everything feels stable again, we're in that celebratory mode, because Four of Wands came out reverse. It's just we're needing some piece of information from this rest and reflection time that is going to be part of the stability. It's like a leg of the table. If you think of a table as having four legs, being very stable, or a chair, for instance, one of those legs is here in this reflection period in Mercury retrograde. So if we can dive in and really use this time for what it's worth, we'll come out stronger with that leg to add to the three-legged table, three-legged chair in the end. We'll have that fourth piece that we need.
So that's what's cool about Mercury retrogrades. A lot of people don't like them, but I like it because it brings back things that are unresolved, like things I meant to do before and I never did. And it's like, okay, I'm going to do that now. And people will be like, well, why would you do that now? It's Mercury retrograde. It's like, because I meant to do this for 10 years or whatever. Or people show up from the past. So it kind of gets a negative connotation. But Mercury retrograde's, yeah, a great time to like finish the unresolved things, honestly.
Yeah, and it's normally a time to do repairs. It's not a great time to buy something new as far as electronics are concerned, but it's a great time to do repairs on electronics or things. Like all of a sudden out of the blue, I was like, I need to fix all my broken earrings. And that is not something that I would ever take time to do, right? So I have like 6 pairs, and I even took out the little hooks, and I got into the minutia of the experience and the little tweezers to bend the metal. And I was like, I just fixed all my earrings, but out of the blue, like it's because it's a time for repair and to do those things that have gotten lost in the shuffle. They come up to the surface to get, you know, reviewed or whatever it is, recollected, I guess, as far as our memories and stuff are concerned. And with Mars in Cancer, it's such a triple whammy. It's like Mercury retrograde, Mars in Cancer, Scorpio lunar eclipse. Like we are diving deep into the subconscious, and the emotions, if they don't come up, that would be like a major shock for sure. You're normal if you're emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you're still wanting a reading, but is there anything? I'm not getting any more readings. Did you want to talk about anything else before we go, Jason?
No, I feel pretty complete. I mean, just the theme of the heart-centered thinking and how
Could you touch on that actually? Because we did bring it up at the beginning, and I wanted to hear what you were going to say about that.
yeah, I mean, it's nature of the mind to be able to find patterns and put things together and be like, oh, this means this and this means that, and this is why this happens. And it doesn't always mean it's true, but um, I kind of saw a theme of like the heart-centered thinking where you're not even thinking. It's not even about thinking. Like with Casey's reading, she just shows up and stuff happens, and maybe it comes through in dreams. There's probably a confirmation from the earth with a hawk or something will fly by often when you're doing grid work. But just that we have an infinite intelligence in the heart, and to just breathe and to come into that place, become present, and trust that everything we have to navigate any now moment is in the heart. It's not a strategy. It's not a thinking thing. It's not anything we even necessarily need to learn, but we'll be guided to the things that we need to, that we could learn, that we would benefit from knowing, kind of thing. So the heart-centered thinking is feeling and knowing without being able to explain it or even needing to. I think that's the biggest thing in ascension communities and spiritual communities is I have this epiphany and I need everyone to know it too. And this is so important. Everyone needs to know this. And it's really just the energy that's coming through rather than the words. And so we don't really need to work that hard, and not everyone's going to hear it because, I mean, we all know somebody, you tell them something 20 times and then one other person tells them the same thing. And they're like, oh, this is brilliant. You're a genius. You're like, oh, I said that so many times. It's because people don't listen. People don't hear things, but they can feel, they can sense, and they can know. And so connecting to the energy more than the words, and not needing to describe our experiences ad nauseum.
Right. Well, I think let me just interrupt here real quick. So Sarah, she was asking where the link was. So right above your name, a couple spots is a Cash App. Also, there's a Cash App link below your name in the chat box. And then also a Venmo link above your name, a couple spaces back. And I accidentally deleted my copy of the Venmo link, so I cannot repost it unless I navigate away from the page.
You have to click on the live chat.
It's also on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. Where else are you streaming? Are you on Facebook or something?
I'm only on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So it's got to be in the YouTube chat. And yeah, it's there. So we'll wait a little more in case either of you do want a reading for sure. We'd love to do it. But yeah, Jason, what I was going to say is I think you got it. You nailed it there, because I love this teaching Lisa gave, and I believe it was in the Golden Lake.
Oh, it's on. So I'll put your link I see why. It's because if they're watching on my channel, your link isn't coming through for some reason.
Oh.
So you want to text me your link and I'll throw it on there.
Yes. I'm sorry, everyone.
Sorry, guys. All right, this whole time, my bad.
Well, we were trying to figure out what was wrong. Thank you.
We're streaming on both of our pages.
So next time, Jason, we'll just both put it in the YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I sent you the Venmo one. And the Cash App one, let me see if I can do that.
Oh, it's not letting me do it.
Thanks, Sarah. Sorry about the confusion with the link. I think we've cracked it. We've figured it out. But yeah, thank you for being here.
It's weird. It's not letting me do it either.
Okay. Well, maybe
Mercury
that's
retrograde.
Yeah, Mercury retrograde.
Mercury retrograde. That was my favorite. When I was first learning astrology, I'd blame everything on Mercury retrograde. Well, you know it's Mercury retrograde, right?
Well, we will have a technical discussion after this show, Jason.
Yeah, thanks for being patient, everyone.
I see a technical discussion in your future. Oh gosh, my favorite kind of discussion for sure. Okay, so I think I was saying something and then I spaced what I was talking.
It's not even letting me like copy and paste it either. I gotta like type it in there.
Okay, don't worry, everyone. We'll figure it out. So I think, yeah, it's been over an hour. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. It was enlightening, as always. Thank you, Jason.
I can put it in there. I'm typing it out right now if somebody really wants a reading.
Okay, last chance. So it's letting you type it, but you couldn't paste it?
No, I guess keeping people from spamming or something. I don't know. Oh. Okay, so
we'll definitely fix that for next time.
Okay, so that the Venmo one's in, and I can.
Okay, thank you.
Cash it out to you.
Okay, while we're waiting, I'm going to clear the table, and we'll see. Okay. So I feel silly for not realizing that. I wonder if that's what was going on last time too.
Yeah, my bad. I should have checked the thing.
Oh, thank you. I know this one reader, she's got an endless amount of energy, but she will read for like 6 or 7 hours live.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like,
it's fun though, because you don't know what's coming in. Like as far as the questions and the energy and the downloads and the channels,
yeah. And everyone has such a beautifully unique story. So it brings through a different energy, different guides, different guidance.
And there's usually a theme that emerges with everyone that's on live. It's like it kind of runs into the same messages in a sense. Like there's no coincidence. We're all here together at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it shows itself. Want me to pull a card for you, Jason?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just the card of what I need to know.
Hmm.
That's
Well,
my favorite question to ask.
Unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be.
Scary. In the unknown.
You're like,
hey, what am I doing? Just breathe. Breathe and trust.
And in the flow, everything is smooth sailing.
Yeah.
You're in the flow. That's where you are.
What's that?
You're not in an unknown. You're in the flow. That's where you are.
That's very true. That's all that is the flow. Everything else was the illusion of what I thought I was, or what is happening or the way things are. That's a big one. That's the way things are. That's the way it is. It's like, is it? Does it have to be?
Oh, that's okay, Sarah. Is Venmo? What do you have available? She said Cash App's not available.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Cash App was the one that was more universal, but maybe it's not.
Yeah, we got to grow our repertoire of apps.
Yeah, right. What's the
I'm not
universal
very up
app?
on any of that.
Yeah, so unknown territory and in the flow. I love how you said that. Like that the flow is what's revealed once the illusion is cut.
Yeah, well, it's all that is, right? Is the divine energy that we all are connected to, and in this illusion projected into time and space to have an experience of, whatever this is, right? And then the thoughts that we hold and entertain create that reality even more strongly or more solidly. Like with that devil card is, being in a literal hell, and then the ability to like shed that skin and move away from it and see the light, to see or attain an epiphany or insight. And for my life, that's what it's been, is just continually coming back to the flow and the moment. And that's not always fun for a lot of us, because the moment isn't always pleasant and the feelings aren't always pleasant. And it really realizing that that's where our power is these uncomfortable emotions, like to just breathe with them and be with them, that is our power. And the more we integrate it and be with it, the more it comes back to us and it's working for us rather than against us. It's like, that's what I learned recently, is that energy is creating my reality around me so that I feel that energy again. Like, so if something happens and I think it's because this thing happens and that's why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, it's like, no, I was already feeling that way. That's why that happened. So it would get me to feel this thing that I keep pushing away and ignoring and suppressing. And yeah, and it's not anything that, I've done a lot of shadow work, and it's really not as complex as the shadow work. It's just breathing and being with it. And then we'll be, if we have someone to help guide us through, awesome. And a lot of it is just come back to the breath. Every time the mind offers something, come back to the breath, because it'll be from the past, or it'll be from the future, or it'll be some like perceived idea of something happening to us. But if we know it's happening for us, it changes everything. And then before you know it, you're on the other side of it. And sometimes that for me is like setting a alarm clock for like an hour, and just breathing for an hour and just staying with the breath for an hour. And at the end of that hour, it's like, oh my God, I'm back. I don't know what that was. And it doesn't matter.
As you were talking, we got a cat visitor on the lanai.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So should we wrap it up, you think?
Yeah, because I don't think Sarah's going to go for it today, and I think we took a little bit figuring. You're great, she says. I feel the true events of what you read for me.
Thanks, Sarah. You're very welcome. Thank you, everyone that was here.
Yes, thank you everyone so much. These times that we get to come together and share and explore are really precious. So thank you all so much from the bottom of our hearts. And we will see you next week for more fun conversation. Don't miss it. It will be the Scorpio lunar eclipse one, and it's gonna be good. So we'll see you there.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Aloha.
Aloha.